Are you a handicap or do you have a handicap? Hello, and today I'm mainly going to talk about that distinction. So, after my trauma, my TBI, my traumatic brain injury, which is a whole terminology for it, I was a part of a couple of organizations that were closely intertwined with either head trauma or just trauma. And one of the things that we learn in in trainings that are given to individuals who haven't had a trauma is that a person is not a trauma. They have a trauma, which indicates that they are a person first and foremost. And I was reminded of this today when I went to a round table where we talked about mainly how we live with our trauma. Okay, and this is mostly in regards to people with TBI, a traumatic brain injury, which is equivalent to a bruise on your brain. Now, there are different sizes of bruises, head traumas is what I'm trying to say. And so there are four. There are four levels of severity of head trauma. I have a level 3. Now, level 1 would be a concussion. Okay? Simple concussion that you get, I don't know, that can be easily received through sports or just by falling, right? Now, the second is a medium one, which is quite bigger, but still you can live with it, right? So, like a concussion has an effect on you, but you can still operate well. A medium TBI is bigger, but you can still manage. Like you'll get more headaches and things of that sort, but from my knowledge, you still manage. Now, level 3 and 4 are bunched together and I like to call them no man's land, because you never know what's going to happen. Now, you can have happy surprises, as the doctor that was interviewed for my what am I trying to say? For the documentary that we did for my college degree, for in college about my story. The thing that he said is that in head traumas, you have very interesting surprises, and Talar is a surprise. Very lovely surprise. And I'm a level 3, and usually they bunch, as I said, level 3 and 4 together, I call it, like I'm repeating myself, I call it no man's land, because no one knows what's actually going to happen. You can be able to be self-sufficient and all that, like me, or you can basically be bedridden and like a actually level 4 is more like a vegetable, but level 3 is like you don't know. It's like it's a surprise. You never know what's gonna happen. I really give it mostly to the person's willpower, which is what I can say is for me. I have a lot of willpower, as I was reminded today while I was talking with a colleague of mine that I had seen and had spent some time with back in the day, back when I had just started my time with AQTC, the organization I went to today. And he was kind of surprised that I had done and completed my bachelor's degree, and with a TBI. And I told him, yes, I did, but it took me 7 years to complete my bachelor's degree, which in retrospect, you have 8 years to complete it, a bachelor's degree and it being actually valid. And so not only that, I also had a lot of aid by the university. So I had like a tutor, I had extra time, I had a recorder, I had all these little things helping me do what I had to do. Which he said, yes, but even that, like, I mean, you had to really, really want it. I'm like, yes, I wanted to do it. And of course, like, throughout the entire 7 years, I was like, sometimes I just felt like giving up. To be quite honest with you, I just felt like giving up. But then, the closer I got to the end, I was like, okay, I did not come all this way just to not finish what I started. You know, so at least I have a bachelor's degree, which is great. And they say, well, what's that going to allow you to do? Well, I'm like, well, you can do these things, but this is not really what's interesting me. And I would be more interested in becoming a public speaker. That's what I want to be. So that's what I'm gearing myself towards, and that's why I'm a part of Toastmasters as well, and so on and so forth. So, all in all, what is important to note is that the thing that we say a lot in the case of a TBI is that, and the way I started this video is, are you a TBI, or like, are you a handicap, or do you have a handicap? Which is important, I mentioned before, is an important distinction to make, because you are not a handicap, you are a person with a handicap. It's two different things. It's like, in French, people call themselves, I'm dyslexic, right? Or I am, I said I'm dyslexic because that's the easiest thing that came to mind. But it's like, I'm like, you are not, like, I mean, dyslexic is the adjective that people give to individuals who have dyslexia, right? So that's an adjective. Now, sometimes I get uncomfortable when I hear people talking about their disability in that way, as if it's them. They are dyslexic, right? It's like it's like me saying I am a TBI. Do I look like a brain that is bruised walking around? No, I am no longer a brain that is bruised. The reason why I'm talking about this is I actually brought this up during the conversation this evening, which is that I had a conversation with someone, and he's like, Talar, why are you complaining about this? I even have difficulty with that, so how does that make you different than me? Which is where I understood that I have gone so far that I can no longer characterize myself as being someone who has suffered a TBI, because I have gotten back to the normal range of normacy type of thing. So when people tell me their handicap, I'm like, no, you are not this. You are not your handicap, right? You are someone with this handicap. That just indicates that you are a person, first and foremost. Nothing more, nothing less. It means that you are a person with something. It's like saying, this person is a person with green eyes, or a pot belly, or like, that doesn't change the fact that they are a person. They are a person with a pot belly, or they are a person with brown eyes, or a person with a dimple, or a person with pink hair. I don't care. The distinction to be made here is that everybody is a person, no matter the handicap, no matter the issue, no matter whatever it is. You might be dyslexic, you might have a TBI, you might not be able to see, like, you might be short-sighted, you might have a lisp. I don't care. All of this indicates that you are still a person. So when you are talking of a person, and I think that is the actual terminology to utilize when you are talking of someone or of their handicap, you first say that this is a person having this handicap. That is the actual correct terminology, if I remember correctly, from the training that I received at Altago, which is an association that helps spaces and organizations and companies rearrange their space for it to be more ergonomic for every what's the terminology, usable by everyone, universal. That's the actual terminology. They help spaces become more universal so that everybody can utilize it, not just specific people, but everybody can enjoy a space. So the idea here is that a person is not a handicap. A person has a handicap, which automatically means that they are a person that that would require your respect. So next time, what I want you guys to think about is next time you have someone who's slightly different in front of you, will you call them by their deficiency, or will you call them a person having such and such? Is what I want you to think about. So ponder that.